Hello. So, my friends call me the Dirt Queen. It's a nickname coined about a year ago, but to tell you how this came to be, I have to back up a little. Years ago, I decided to become an architect, for many reasons, but mostly because I thought it sounded like a pretty badass profession for a woman. I spent one semester studying abroad in Europe. This is where I first encountered the sculptural, organic works of Gaudi. His works would later come to influence my designs. Post-college Charleston, I set off to begin my career with visions of somehow changing the world. But instead, I found myself like many young architects, broke, disgruntled, and drawing toilet elevations. 8 years of pushing out deadlines, managing projects, and getting licensed, I'd often wonder, there's got to be more to architecture than this. Where's the creativity? In order to really design, I needed to build in the 3D world around me. How can I be architect if I'm not builder as well? So I discovered this. If I want to be creative, I have to do 3 things. First, quit my job. Second, use my hands. And third, play in the mud. So I checked off number 1 and moved to the next one. To use my hands is to fully be engaged with space, feeling materials, and viscerally understanding how they connect in 3D. But it's also about being a hammer-swinging, demolition-loving, machete-swinging woman, even if I did almost slice my thumb off. No matter how kick-ass your 3D rendering is, you can't fully understand a space until you stand within it, as it grows and develops, constantly tweaking the design as you build, allowing the process to design past the paper and into the building process. As a producer of plans, I've learned that not always having one can lead to the most creative work. So using my hands is also about getting my hands dirty and playing with mud. Building is one of the oldest practices of man. In 7500 BC, people were building adobe dwellings in Jericho. Mud was the first natural concrete. In the Americas, we call it adobe. In England, they call it cob. Earth, cob, clay, adobe, it's all just mud. There's examples of natural building all over the ancient world. 1,000-year-old skyscrapers in Yemen, the Taos Pueblos, even the Great Wall of China. Still standing thousands of years later, these structures have survived earthquakes, monsoons, hurricanes, and floods. But with the Industrial Revolution and other advancements, buildings became shaped by materials being produced versus buildings being the product of their own environment. Construction waste is the largest contributor to landfills. Buildings are responsible for half of the energy consumed in the US. But we already know this. Everyone's down with the green building movement. But green architecture is not just the newest technologies and products on the market. It's already here, and it's been here forever. Humans have been building strong structures for eons. Incredible, elegant solutions already exist for almost every climate region. Look around you. Recognition of indigenous wisdom is essential for creating sustainable structures. Instead of always looking forward, glancing back is just as important. So mud is just clay and sand. Together they make a really compressive material. You add straw, straw's good intention, and you essentially get nature's version of reinforced concrete. You throw a roof and a foundation on it and you're golden. Then you can apply current building science and knowledge and create hybrid wall systems, customized to meet the needs of any situation. There's adobe, straw bale, slip straw, compressed earth block, rammed earth, and the list goes on and on. So natural building is about creatively finding building solutions within nature. It's a symbiotic marriage between nature and structure, mimicking the soft curves found in the organic world. And I think we can all agree that curves are comfortable and beautiful. And looking back at time, another concept is revealed which has been mostly lost, which is building together as a community. In building together, we teach and share skills. We empower people to once again use their hands. The drive for money is replaced by shared time and labor. True sustainability is engaging with people, having them participate in the creation of their own built world. Because when people are connected to their environment, they will, in turn, care for their environment. And this is a true sustainable practice. I recently participated in the building of a meeting house in Nicaragua. This one-room structure was built from all natural materials, with the village and for the village, teaching and sharing building methods and techniques. For many of these women, Up until this point, their daily tasks and skills consisted of making two things, tortillas and babies. So perhaps we could apply the same concepts for low-income housing here in the Low Country. Check out Portland, Oregon's City Repair Project. Communities come together at an ugly intersection and they reclaim it through natural building and art. San Francisco is doing the same thing, reclaiming barren utility easements and creating useful urban spaces and gardens. Charleston, it's time we reclaim our land. Dufferin Grove Park in Toronto. This community has built 2 wood-fired ovens. They have Friday night suppers, Sunday pizza days, farmers markets, public bread baking, fundraisers, school groups, and more. They no longer have to create events. The ovens create the events themselves. And currently, there's 7 states across the US with community ovens. But this April, South Carolina will make number 8 as we build a pizza oven out at Ondaw Green. So come out and help us build. There's 7 states with straw bale building codes. Charleston, South Carolina, the whole East Coast. We must be just as progressive as the West Coast. Natural building is not really technical work, but it is labor intensive, with materials costing next to nothing. Architecture affects social behavior. We know this, but what I'm saying is if we involve the community to transform spaces and create beautiful structures, then together we create and connect to each other and to the earth. So who would have thought something as simple, as abundant, and as cheap as dirt could solve so many issues?